Hi students, today we are discussing the structural design pattern part 2. The first design pattern is in part 2, that is decorator. The name says decorator. The name itself only says decorating something. Okay, we are adding something embellishments. Okay, here the decorator it follows, it comes under the category of structural design patterns. It comes under the category of structural design pattern. What does the main principle or what is the main motto of decorator design pattern? In the sense, coming to the intent, a short statement that tells you what does the pattern do. Here what I meant to say in the sense, we are adding additional responsibilities dynamically. We are adding additional responsibilities dynamically to an object. Okay, to an object. Here nothing we are adding some new functionalities dynamically to an object at a runtime, especially at runtime. Okay, here what this says, the intent, attach additional responsibilities to an object dynamically. So we have to support, we have to provide a flexible alternative to subclassing. Yes, we have to provide there some flexible alternative, one more alternative, it should be flexible to a subclassing, for we are extending the functionality dynamically. We are extending the functionality dynamically. For example, I have to tell for you the real life example. Let us, if we have to take some base object base object, in the sense, let us consider, I have considered a real life example here. If we have to take one plain ice cream, let us take vanilla flavor ice cream, and let us assume that that is a base object, in the sense a plain ice cream, vanilla flavor only. Okay, coming to one more, one customer will ask only plain ice cream, that is vanilla flavor ice cream. And coming to the one more customer ask, I need vanilla plus chocolate flavor ice cream. What we have to do there, yet runtime we want to extending the functionality dynamically, we are adding some additional responsibility to a particular object. In the sense, first of all, the base object we have to take only vanilla flavor, but what we have to add now, vanilla plus chocolate. And one more customer, they will ask, I need vanilla plus chocolate plus fruit nuts. Okay, one more customer ask like this, yes, I have considered vanilla flavor and chocolate flavor. Now I have to adding some additional responsibilities dynamically at runtime, especially to a particular object. This is nothing but a real life example of this decorator design pattern. Nothing more, we are adding embellishments in the sense adding extra additional responsibilities, or we can say extra features. One more real life example also, what I have to say. For example, if you have to take one plain pizza, yes, the consider a plain pizza be a object okay, and coming to one more customer will ask, I need a chicken pizza. Yes, the customer at the base object at runtime only dynamically we have to adding some extra responsibilities based on the user needs, we want to adding some extra additionalities. Okay, and one more customer, they will ask chicken butter cheese pizza. Yes, I have to add some one more extra additional responsibilities dynamically at runtime. But here we don't want to bother, in the sense, without affecting the base class or base object. Okay, without affecting the base object, without any difficulties, we have to carry the base object at runtime dynamically. We have to be we added extra features dynamically at runtime. Okay, this is the main concept of decorator design pattern. Okay, now we have to study about one more name of decorator design pattern, also known as, in the sense we have to be call it as like as a wrapper. What we have to be call it as a wrapper. Coming to the motivation section, what does the main motto now we have to be studied here? Listen carefully, ma, otherwise we can't able to understand my key points to you. Sometimes we want to add responsibilities to individual objects, not to an entire class. Yes, exactly. Sometimes if you want to be adding some extra features or extra additional responsibilities to an individual objects, and it not an entire class, it's not related to an entire class. For example, if you have to take here a GUI in the sense a graphical user interface. Let us I have to take some toolkit. Let us assume that a graphical user interface toolkit. Let us assume if you have to be add some properties like a graphical user interface like borders. Okay, we are adding some borders, we are adding some scroll boards, like this. Okay, one way we are adding some responsibilities is with inheritance in the sense a class which acquires the properties of another class. One way here, one way we this process we want to be added the extra responsibilities at runtime dynamically is with inheritance. What here they are saying, inheriting a border from another class. We need to put a border around every subclass instance. Every subclass instance we want to take some another class, we need to put a border around the text. Okay, so a client can't control how and when we need to decorate the component with a border. So a more flexible approach is to enclose the tool, or we can say component, in another object. So that's the border, whatever the enclosing object we have to be say here, that is nothing but a decorator. Okay, the enclosing object is said to be a decorator. What the decorator says to you, the decorator conforms to the interface of the particular component. It decorates so that its present it will be transparent, so that it should be very transparent to the components clients. Whatever the decorator design pattern forward request to the component, and it may perform some operations or nothing but additional actions such as drawing a border before or after forwarding. The transparency here, let us we have to be read some here. A transparency lets you nest decorator in the sense we are adding some additional responsibilities to an object dynamically, or we can say recursively. Thereby we need to allowing an unlimited number of added responsibilities. Okay, here we have to be look at this diagram here. The diagram says what here, a text view in the sense we have to take some text view, and then we have to take some scroll decorator, like a scroll symbol is there right side. We have to look at the scroll decorator, and above what we have to decorate there, a border decorator. If we have to let us take some text, the text will be decorated as a scroll decorator, and we have to be represented as a border. Okay, border around the text. Likewise that will implies gives like this manner. Look at the border and scroll bars and the text around that border. Okay, this is the decorator recursively. We need to allowing an unlimited number of added responsibilities. For example, here look at the text view. What the text view? What the text view says to you here? A text view, what the text view, suppose we have a text view object, what the displays text in a window. Okay, text in a window, it has no scroll bars by defaultly, and because we might concentrated it, always we need them. So whenever we need to do this, we can use a scroll decorator, we can use a scroll decorator. We need to add them. Suppose we also want to add a thick black border around the text view, so we can use here a border decorator. We need to add this as well. Simply we want to compose the decorators with the text view. We want to produce the desired or absolute result. Okay, here look at the following diagram illustrates to you. It is nothing but the object diagram. It shows how we need to compose a text view object with border decorator and scroll bar objects. We want to produce a bordered and scroll bar text view. This is the object structure. All of you look at this. This is the object structure. First of all, a border decorator. We have to take, let us say, the component here. The component and the relationship is scroll bar decorator, and one more component, a text view. This is nothing but object diagram. It shows how to composed a text view object with a border decorator and scroll bar objects. We need to produce a bordered and scrollable decorator text, and finally the text view. Okay, here now we have to explain the motivation, the figure explanation, what here we need to study here. Here look at all of you, ma. Scroll decorator and border decorator, these are subclasses of decorator. These are subclass of decorator. Here in this concept of decorator, we need to take an abstract class. What is an abstract class? An abstract class is a class that contains abstract methods. Those we are implementation for all these methods. Okay, an abstract class for visual components that decorate other visual components. So what the abstract class for only we have to be seen visual components, what that decorates to other visual components. Okay, here we have to be taken the visual component. It's a class. We have the class will declared as the operation draw. Okay, we need to extend the operations, the subclasses here, text view and decorator. In the text view, we want to declare the operation draw operation, and coming to the one more subclass here, decorator, we have to be taken draw method operation. Okay, it is just the visual component, the component, it should be the visual component is the abstract class. Listen carefully, the visual component is the abstract class for visual objects. Simply it defines their drawing. Listen carefully, simply it defines their drawing and event handling interfaces. Note down here how the decorator class simply forwards draw request, simply forwards draw request to its particular component. So and how the decorator subclasses can extend, the decorator subclasses can extend this operation. The subclasses scroll decorator, first we want to take scroll decorator and border decorator. Decorator subclasses are very free, we need to add some extra operations for specific functionality. For example, let us consider scroll decorator. In the sense scroll to operations, we have to be taken some other other objectives, like the scroll the interface. If they know how it happens to a scroll decorator object in the interface, the essential aspect of this decorator pattern is that lets you decorators appear anywhere. Decorators appear anywhere. So a visual component can do this pattern, that the way the clients generally can't tell to you what is the difference between a decorated component and an undecorated one. So they don't depend at all on the decoration design pattern. Okay, the decorator class, what it forwards, it draw request to its particular component. The subclasses can extend this operation. We need to have to add some additional operations for specific functionality. Okay, coming to the applicability of decorator design pattern. Applicability in the sense when the pattern it will use to support that. First, very important key point here, applicability. Listen carefully, ma. Applicability. When we are using a decorator, first of all, we need to adding additional responsibilities to individual objects dynamically. Already, I said to you this point. It is very useful and it is very transparently. We are dynamically at runtime. We are adding extra features to an object, so that is without affecting the base objects and without any difficulties. Okay, and coming to the second applicability of a decorator design pattern for the responsibilities that can be withdrawn, for those responsibilities that can be withdrawn, in the sense if we have some particular responsibility, if we have to be withdrawn. Okay, it is one more applicability. One more applicability if we have when extension by subclassing is impractical. Yes, exactly. Whenever if you need to extending by subclassing is impractical, in the sense sometimes a large number of independent extensions, if you need a large number of independent extensions are very possible, and we would suppose to produce an explosion of subclasses. We need to support every combination or a class definition. It may be a hidden, or we can say otherwise simply an unavailable for a subclassing. Okay, and coming to the structure of what the structure, a graphical representation of classes and objects, how they interrelate and how they are interactive, or scenario how the representation will be here. Look at motivation section. A class we have to be taken a visual component. Here we have to be taken a component. Component is a class which declares the operation method, and we need to extend the functionality here, concrete component and a decorator subclass. Here the concrete component we are performing some operations. Okay, here the here the component is a abstract class for all the visual objects, whatever you are defining the event handling interfaces, whatever we are performing some adding some extra configurations, extra we are adding some operations for specific functionality. So here the decorator subclasses are very free. We are adding some operations for specific functionality. We are adding here concrete decorator A, and we need to extending this functionality concrete decorator A and concrete decorator B. Next, in concrete decorator B we need to return a decorator operation, and we need to adding some behavior function. And coming to the decorator section, what we have to be written some component, and we will need to perform some operations specific functionality. Okay, and coming to the participants, how those classes and objects how they are participate, how they are to carry out their particular responsibilities. Coming to the component section, we are at the motivation section. We have to be taken as a class visual component. It is an abstract class for visual objects. What the main motto here, to define the interface for objects that can have responsibilities added to them dynamically. Yes, exactly. If you have to be define the interface, in the sense intermediary acts as an interface for an object that can have extra features, or we have to be added some extra additional responsibilities dynamically at runtime especially. And coming to the one more, concrete component in the sense we are taking some subclasses there, text view. In the sense we need to define an object to which additional responsibilities it can be attached. And coming to the decorator section, it is also a subclass. It is also a subclass of a component section. What the decorator says to you, we need to maintain a reference to a component object, and we need to define an interface that conforms to components interface. We need to maintain a pointer or a reference to a component object, and we need to define an interface that conforms to a components interface. And finally, the concrete decorator subclasses are free to add operations for specific functionality like border decorator and scroll bar decorator. We are adding some additional responsibilities to the particular component whatever they need. And coming to the collaboration section, collaboration, how those classes and objects, how they are collaborate, and how they are carry out the particular responsibilities. In the sense, collaboration, decorator forwards these requests to its component object. Yes, exactly, decorator forwards those requests to its particular component object. It may optionally perform these additional operations before and after we are forwarding the request. Okay, and coming the consequences in the sense, it describes the results of whatever we are applying this particular pattern. There are two key benefits we are using here. The decorator pattern has at least two key benefits and two liabilities here. The first one is more flexibility than static inheritance. In the sense, the decorator design pattern provides a more flexible way. We need to add responsibilities to an particular object so that they can add with static inheritance, or we can say multiple inheritance with decorators, and responsibilities can be added and removed at runtime. Simply we can say by attaching and detaching them. Okay, and coming to the next second key benefit, avoid feature loaded classes high up in the hierarchy. In the sense, the decorator offers pay as you go approach. We are adding responsibilities. Instead of trying, we need to support all features. It should be a complex and a customizable classes. If you have to be define a simple class, and we need to add functionality incrementally with decorator objects, so the functionality can be composed from simple pieces. Okay, this is the concept of avoid feature loaded classes high up in the hierarchy. And we need to see there are some two problems. The two problems, we are extending a complex class would tend to details the unrelated responsibilities we are adding here. The two problems, the first problem is a decorator and its component are not identical. In the sense, a decorator acts as a transparent enclosure. What enclosure? Transparent enclosure. But from an object identity point of view, a decorated component is not identical to the component itself. Hence, you should not rely on object identify. So whenever you can use decorators. And coming to the second problem, lots of little objects. In the sense, a design that uses decorator, oftenly we get some results in a system composed of lots of little objects that all look alike. In the sense, so here the main concept, the objects differ only in the way they are interconnected, so not in their classes, in the value of their variables. So although these systems are very easy to customize, by those who understand them, and they can be handled, they can be hard to learn, and we have to do debug. Okay, these are the two problems coming under the section of con- uh, consequences section of related to a decorated design pattern. In further video we need to study about implementation, noun uses and related patterns of decorated design pattern. Up to now, thank you ma, one and all.